Hello everyone, how's it going? So in this video, we're going to talk about penny stocks that have like huge potentials to make big gains. This is going to be a new segment on my channel, and every once in a while I will find, interesting penny stocks with like a good potential to make some quick money, and hopefully it's going to go well. So before I begin, just remember that, obviously none of this is necessarily investment advice. It's just my opinion, and also watch it for entertainment purposes and also do your own research. If you like what I do, please check out the links down in the description and, like, comment, and subscribe. So with that being said, let's begin with today's topic. So today we're going to be talking about a stock that's pretty interesting called CTMX. Typically, I mean, those like low cap or small caps or penny stocks, they have a relatively thin, how can I put this, layer of good news or strong fundamentals that we can rely on. The rest is just, mindless momentum. But in this case, it's a bit different. There are some actual reasons why it might be an interesting run. So CTMX recently received some major fundings from big pharmaceutical companies. For example, they have received a collaboration deal from Moderna, a company that is, marketed at around $70 to $75 billion of market cap. They have also received a similar deal from AbbVie, and also another like potential deal from other companies. So this is why I would say that it's an interesting play to start looking into entry opportunities in CTMX. Now, last week, as a result of this news, the stock price of CTMX went up by almost 200%. I'm tempted to say that it's almost 300%. And, is this going to continue to go up? My feeling is the steam is still there. It's going to be similar to what happened with BGNO, so Bionanogenomics. I remember that back then it was receiving notices that it's going to, it's going to be delisted from NASDAQ. And then they got a massive boost because of some, fundamental recognition that they are a legit company doing, serious work. And from then, the stock almost 10x'd from there onward. And the rest is kind of history. Of course, is this kind of momentum going to always be there? Of course not. But I think that nevertheless, it's interesting to look into it and to see whether there is a place in your portfolio for CTMX. I would consider this stock as for the most part, a trading stock. So if you can, maybe, put aside like 1 to 3% of your portfolio in CTMX. And of this allocation, I would say that 80% of it should be used to cash out once it reaches a certain like profit target. For example, you've made 30 to 50% of the cost basis, then I would start considering to exit from there. And then afterwards, if you want to stay in this company for, let's say, 6 to 12 months, then use the 20% that's left plus some of the profit to stay in CTMX. But like basically in this case, they have received some significant recognition from other giants of the industry, which kind of proves that they are serious about what they do. And they might have, this is not going to be the last time that we're going to hear about CTMX. This is my read from this. And because of this, it's a bit different from like your typical penny stock news. Because I remember covering some stocks like AITX and whatever. And basically, we were kind of struggling to find real significant high impact stories that might influence the share price. because they were different. They were essentially stories that already happened and only now reflecting in the share price. So this is why we were kind of iffy about the other ones. But for CTMX, it might be a different story. And my recommendation would be to make an entry now and to leave about 40% of the allocation later in case of any sort of pullbacks, which should be expected after such a drastic jump. So I would say, the vast majority of the position should be heading towards the exit within the next 3 months. Beyond that, I would consider the position to be an investment position. And do I recommend to stay in CTMX for the long term? I am personally I'm more comfortable staying with CTMX than many other penny stocks, to be honest. And because of the endorsement of those large companies, these are almost as good as institutional participation in the shares. So this is why I would recommend to give it a shot. Dedicate 1 to 3% of your portfolio in it and to see where it goes.